Some battles crush every ounce of human strength. Some enemies laugh at effort, mock wisdom, and scoff at experience. In those dark, unrelenting moments, when the ground shakes beneath you, when every door slams shut, when despair whispers, "It's over," you don't need another plan, another tactic, another pep talk. You need the thunderous, earth-shaking name of the God who rises as warrior king to fight for you. God is not a distant spectator offering sympathy from the sidelines. He is the divine conqueror who charges into the chaos, sword drawn, armies of heaven at his command. He doesn't merely help, he overwhelms, overthrows, and obliterates what dares to stand against his own. When you invoke his battle names, you're not pleading for scraps of mercy. You're unleashing the unstoppable force of eternity itself. Heaven hears, hell trembles, the enemy scatters. These are not polite titles. They are war cries etched in fire, forged in God's own spoken word, proven in blood-soaked victories across millennia. Speak them aloud in the heat of your fight. They become weapons sharper than any sword, shields stronger than any fortress. God unveils his names progressively, each a fresh revelation of his character, tailored to the moment, the need, the crisis. He doesn't hand out generic labels. He discloses who he is precisely when his people need it most. In seasons of peace, he is Jehovah Shalom, the Lord our peace. In provision, Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides. But when the warfare erupts, when spiritual darkness presses in, emotional storms rage, physical threats close in, when the enemy advances with relentless fury, God steps forward as the warrior, the defender, the victorious king. He reveals himself not as a gentle shepherd in those hours, but as the fierce, unbeatable commander who fights for his own. This video unleashes the raw power of God's battle names, the titles he declares in the heat of conflict, the names that turn prayer into warfare and despair into dominion. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. This bold declaration erupts from the lips of Moses and the children of Israel right after the Red Sea miracle. Pharaoh's mighty army, chariots, horses, and elite warriors lay drowned in the depths, while God's people stood safe on the other side. In that moment of breathtaking deliverance, they didn't sing about a distant deity or a gentle shepherd. They proclaimed their God as a man of war, a fierce, personal, unbeatable fighter who steps into the battle himself. The Hebrew phrase here is strikingly anthropomorphic. Yahweh ish milkamah. Yahweh is a man of war. It's not softened to warrior in the original. It's deliberately vivid and human-like to drive home the point. God doesn't delegate the fight. He enters it personally, with zeal, power, and unrelenting determination. Many kings send armies while they stay safe. Generals direct from the rear. But the Lord, he is the front-line commander. In Exodus 15, no Israelite lifted a sword. The battle was entirely his. He hurled the Egyptian army into the sea with a blast of his nostrils. Verse 8. He doesn't hire mercenaries or rely on angelic proxies as his primary force. He himself marches out like a champion. Isaiah 42:13. This means in your spiritual conflicts against sin, oppression, demonic attacks, generational patterns, or immovable obstacles. You are not abandoned to fight alone or beg for angelic reinforcements. The captain of the Lord's host, Joshua 5:14-15, personally takes the field. He doesn't outsource your deliverance. The man of war imagery reveals intimacy in battle. A distant God might send plagues or angels, but the Lord engages directly. He knows the enemy's tactics intimately because he confronts them face to face. Think of David facing Goliath. It wasn't just a sling. It was, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." 1 Samuel 17:45. The same Lord who drowned Pharaoh now stands with you. He sees the hidden attacks, the repeated assaults, the mocking voices, and because he engages personally, no enemy can hide or outmaneuver him. Human warriors make mistakes, run out of strength, or lose battles. Not the Lord. His strategies are flawless. He divides seas, Exodus 14-15. He confounds the counsel of the mighty, Psalm 33:10. He crushes the head of the serpent, Genesis 3:15, Romans 16:20. In the end, he rides forth on a white horse, eyes like flame, striking nations with the sword from his mouth. Revelation 19:11-16. Opposition doesn't confuse him. Stubborn strongholds don't intimidate him. Repeated attacks don't wear him down. He knows exactly how to dismantle every foe, thoroughly, decisively, and for his glory. Beloved, some battles linger. You've prayed, fasted, declared, and still the enemy circles back. The same addiction resurfaces. The financial siege won't break. The family division repeats. Health issues or legal battles drag on. Demonic harassment feels relentless. These are the stubborn enemies and repeated attacks that test our faith. In those seasons, Exodus 15:3 is your war cry. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Stop trying to out-strategize the enemy alone. Lay down your own weapons of self-effort and remind yourself, he doesn't outsource this fight. Invite his personal engagement. Cry out, "Lord, you who drowned Pharaoh's host, arise in this battle." Engage personally. Trust his expertise. The God who knows how to defeat opposition hasn't lost his touch. What looks immovable to you is already doomed, because the man of war has declared war on your enemies. Declare it aloud today. The Lord is my man of war. He fights for me. He knows my stubborn situations better than I do. He will not relent until every enemy is under his feet. Victory is not distant. It's his nature. The battle belongs to the Lord, and he never loses. Worship him as the mighty warrior king, for in his name, Yahweh, the victory is already sealed. In the Bible, names are never casual labels. They are revelations of character, authority, purpose, and power. A name discloses who someone truly is and what they are capable of doing. When God reveals a name, he unveils a dimension of himself tailored to the moment of need. He doesn't hand out generic labels. He discloses who he is precisely when his people need it most. In seasons of peace, he is Jehovah Shalom, the Lord our peace. In provision, Jehovah Jireh,
the Lord who provides. But when the warfare erupts, when spiritual darkness presses in, emotional storms rage, physical threats close in, when the enemy advances with relentless fury, God steps forward as the warrior, the defender, the victorious king. He reveals himself not as a gentle shepherd in those hours, but as the fierce, unbeatable commander who fights for his own. This video unleashes the raw power of God's battle names, the titles he declares in the heat of conflict, the names that turn prayer into warfare and despair into dominion. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.